Hi everyone, we're here at John Sadler's Auto Repair. We have a 2013 Subaru BRZ 2.0 liter, and we're here to change the spark plugs today. There's a bunch of opinions. There's 2 or 3 other videos on YouTube that say a lot of different ways. I'll show you how the manufacturer shows you how to do it, then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, the manufacturer, the all data printout is the same as what the factory has. They want you to take the engine mounts loose and put a couple spacers here, and then they want you to take a hoist mechanism and they want you to support the engine, and that way you can either raise or lower the vehicle to do the spark plugs. So what I figured out is, and I've got one bank done because one guy's video, it just shows the tools he used, it doesn't show him doing the job. So I don't know how long it took him to really do that. He says a couple hours. Anyway, I've got one side done, and what I did is I loosened the subframe bolts and took them out there. And the first thing I did is I undid the 2 bolts that hold the rack and pinion steering in. That way the steering, I didn't have to worry about fooling around with the steering coupler. And then I took the suspension bolts off one side. So you have one back here, one back here. Then you have 2 bigger ones that hold the control arm in, right there and right there. And then of course you have that eyelet, the stud in the front. Okay, so now you can get a view in there and you can see where the spark plugs go right inside the hole there, and you can get an angled a swivel, 3/8 swivel and a socket in there and get the spark plugs in and out. And so here's the other side. So it gives you a nice view where it's pretty easy access to get to. So it's easy to get the coil off, get the bolt off. The other ways look like it's pretty hard to get to things. So the only difficult part is just to get the socket in first and then get the swivel put on afterwards. So there wasn't enough room to insert the socket alone and then the swivel alone. So I put the socket in, and I grabbed it with a pair of needle nose pliers and I pushed my swivel on. Once I had my swivel on, it was very simple to do. Here's the 2 coils that you remove from this side, and here's the 2 spark plugs I removed. And then I already put the new spark plugs on this side, but I wanted to show you that once I lowered that subframe down, then I just put a big socket there to keep the space there. And what I did is I left the exhaust hooked up. They want you to take the exhaust off, and then I left the other side of the frame and everything, it's all still connected, so there's a way to support it on the vehicle still, so the whole motor's not just hanging down. And I didn't remove the exhaust and a bunch of other things the video said to do, and the all data said to do. But as you can see, by lowering everything down, and you got to make sure you get the little sway bar leak out of the way, that'll cause you a little difficulty. And then once you've got that done, you can see you've got all kinds of access in there. I've got a lot of access to do my job and work in a nice clean environment and have plenty of room to work, have room to get my torque wrench in there. One more time I'll show you the back one. So you can see there's plenty of room inside of there to get in there and do the work. And I took the tire off because it just makes it a lot simpler. So it's just 2 bolts there, and then you have a bolt here and a bolt there that holds your steering rack on. Then you have a stud and you have a nut there because that has a stud on the end of the sway bar link. And then you have a little bracket here in the front, and then the one nut here. And then this whole side comes down so you can get access and do that job. So it's a little tip from John Sadler's. There's a lot of different ways you can do things, and I just looked at that and figured out the easiest way to get in there where I could have access and do a great job for my customer. Thank you very much everyone, and have a great day.